Hey everybody, for tuning in here. I'm doing a live stream of coding, which I've never done before, and it's pretty weird. But I will just kind of go for it and ask questions if you want to in the chat. So what I'm doing here is working on a adoption fee payment form. Specifically, I'm working on a website for a local animal shelter. And right now, the website uses WooCommerce on WordPress to collect adoption fees to obviously, to make sure the person's serious about adopting the pet, but also to help pay for whatever things go on with adoptions. And right now, this is the current format of it. WooCommerce is kind of a beast sometimes, and right now the product, this is a product adoption fee, and it is actually using a gravity form, just a single drop down to determine what type of fee you're paying, and then you add it to a cart. You go through the checkout process, and then it feels kind of like you're checking out of a normal WooCommerce site, which is really odd if you're just paying this one-off fee payment. So my goal here is to make this look and feel a little bit more like what Stripe Checkout is. So if you're not familiar with Stripe Checkout, it's a really slick one-step process, whatever Stripe Checkout is called now. I feel like, did they change something? Let's see here. Stripe, now it's called Stripe Checkout. And so you just pay with card, and it pops up this little modal, and you'll type in everything and pay it, and it's all one easy step. So the downside of this is that I'm not using Stripe here. We're using authorize.net and other various payment methods, and so you deal with the cards that you're dealt, and I think this would be a fun exercise to build a Vue component that handles this sort of logic, and then maybe in a later stream we can focus on getting the stuff processed in the back end of WordPress using WooCommerce's API. So to get started, we have a very rudimentary design. The header is started, but the rest of it is very boilerplate WordPress layout with a sidebar that's not styled. So first step would be probably to create a template for this product. Now, I was just Googling template structure. I don't know if you can actually override a template on a per product basis without doing some finagling. So right now I'm just going to kind of override all products since I haven't gotten to any other ones, and I can go back to customizing this on a per product basis later. So to override WooCommerce templates, what you typically do is put a WooCommerce folder in your theme, and then override them on a template basis inside that folder. So if we go to the WooCommerce package here, we can go to templates, and we see we have a single product file. This is just pretty much just filled with hooks right now for WooCommerce stuff. So what I'm just going to do is copy this and paste it over to this new override file that I've created, and it's probably going to look exactly the same if I refresh it. And then if I just delete it, the innards of it, we'll see if it's any different. Cool, everything is gone. So inside here we can put our stuff that we have, and so I'm just going to dump in some basic kind of form markup, and we'll see where we're going. Yeah, I would guess that this is public tomorrow. I think that YouTube lets these be converted into normal videos, so feel free to tune in later if that works for you. So I'm using Bulma, and Bulma is this really neat framework. I think it's kind of mainly for apps, and it's more recent, but it lets you do some cool stuff. And so I also have some custom styles in here too, but I'm gonna probably want to put some stuff in a wrapper or maybe a section. How am I doing this on like a page? I'm just gonna kind of yank this out. I'm gonna do and div and close all these tags out. Ink heading is a template that I think just prints out the H1 of the page, and so let's start there. Cool. Adoption fee payment, and so inside here we could pretty easily put like page content. I'm going to do this. And it doesn't look like there's any just body copy. So this is the product itself. The product description is actually right here. And so this would be pulled from a WooCommerce field eventually. But for now, let's just put some lorem ipsum. And so that looks okay. And so beneath this is where we would have our view component, our form. Oops. And we can maybe start on that by doing, I'll just start with a form here. I'll leave all that stuff. The action can just be posted to itself. I don't know if I'll actually be posting this form. We maybe send this back with Ajax. We'll see. I will start. Let's see. We need, comparing this field, we just need a type. A total doesn't really make sense. Though I guess you could be paying the fee for multiple pets. So I guess we could leave that in. Maybe it's more of a quantity. So if we start a just simple label for type fee type. Or maybe I'll do select fee type, and then a select dropdown. And then this will be for type, and we'll have a few options in here eventually, but maybe we'll start with one option, adult dog puppy. Adult dog puppy. Okay, let's see how that looks. It's pretty gross. I bet Bulma has some styling that we can borrow for forms. Now a form, there are form classes that are supported, so label, input, select, and so you simply apply, and you looks like we wrap those in fields. So that's neat. I'm just gonna drop a field wrapper around this, and then apply some labels to my little guys under here. Label and class equals select. Let's see if that looks any better. So much better. Okay, I bet you can make that a little bit bigger. I wonder if they also have like a field set. Oh, they should each be wrapped in a control. Interesting. Okay. Control. Makes no difference. Okay. You can do colors and sizes. I think we should do like a medium. So I can do is medium on this select. And that's pretty slick. Eventually that'll have more options in it. And let's see if there's like a grouping. So I'm just looking to see if there's any way we can differentiate this drop down option from like regular old thing of the body text. There's form groups and horizontal forms. For now, this is fine. Next, we should add a quantity field. So I'm just going to copy paste this, and I will say for quantity. Man, what is this called? Number of fees. That seems dumb. Quantity. We'll leave it in there for now. We can always change it. And then this is just a input. Is that the class that we need? Yeah, input, and it's also medium, and we'll do name is quantity, and then we'll pre-populate this with 1. And let's see how that looks. It's a little bit dorky, so maybe we should make it smaller. Really, truly just flying by the seat of my pants here. I don't know how to go about making this a little bit smaller. Maybe by constraining the parent. or making it an inline form. Or horizontal form, that might look a little bit better. Let's try that, horizontal form. Field is horizontal, and then you change things from field label and field body. No, let's not. Okay, styling will come later. Finally, we should add like next I don't know, we should probably add some. Would you add a credit card form immediately in here? Does that seem logical? Like enter payment details now, pay now after selecting this stuff. I guess. What if we did like a columns wrapper? Bulma has a nice little flexbox grid. And then for each of these, you can do column. Actually, I'll have to go check. Grid, columns, and then column, and then I think a modifier. So you can do is half, is 1/3, is 1/4. So column is half here. And column is half here. So all right, looks the teeniest bit better. And then underneath here we can start like a new columns wrapper, and we could do actually we could just maybe do like h2 title is 2, I think is the syntax, and we'll do payment information. And so we'll put some of that stuff in here, and then below we'll have a button, which is like the submit button for this form. And what are button classes in Bulma? Elements button, is primary maybe, is success. We'll do is primary, and then is medium. So button is primary, is medium. And we'll say pay now. Let's see how that looks. Not bad. I think I'll take this down to like a is 3. A little bit more in line with everything else. That button didn't get applied because I didn't even put button in. That's silly of me. Cool. That is primary. I think I have primary colors overridden in my theme file, so that's why it's not a brilliant green color, but that's okay. I'm going to add in the payment information now. What is typical payment information? Gosh, I feel like this is a solved problem. I wish I could use Stripe Checkout, but I don't think they have like a third-party interface. I know there's this thing called payment.js that's maybe was written by Stripe. Payment, like jQuery payment, and maybe that'll give us some guidance. Yeah, it's from 2013, so it's probably a little outdated. But I think payment.js is mainly for credit card numbers. Maybe there are some examples that we can just copy for now. Looks like it's feature complete. They're not going to be adding anything onto it. Let's check out this demo. Sweet. I like it. Credit card number, CVC. So this is the demo one. It's not, I guess it doesn't add anything fancy, like the logo or anything. Maybe it does. Yeah, you have to add it yourself though, I think. I'm gonna copy this input. It looks like you need ID, CC number, autocomplete hints for like password managers. And so we'll just do this input, do field label for CC number, we're going to make this a class of input since that's Bulma, but then we'll also be adding a class of is medium. And then on this input, we're also going to do ID is CC number, and then autocomplete is CC number. So if we refresh that, forgot to do column here. Probably don't need columns, so I'm just gonna, I can put that in later if we need to. Cool. So obviously not really set up to take payments yet, but we can certainly apply this jQuery payment demo thing a little bit. And so to use this, we can add it with npm, hopefully. So I'm going to go to npmjs.org and check out what we have for results. jQuery payment. I'm going to install this. npm, I'll just do yarn add jQuery payment to my iTerm here. Whoops. And that's going to add it to my bundle. I'm using Laravel Mix, even though it's a WordPress project. So hopefully this is enough to get this going. And then looks like all you do is pass in through jQuery the payment. You can maybe act like a credit card field. Payment format card number must be like the function that it calls, maybe. Interesting. So I'm just going to separate out concerns here. I have an app file and an app file, but I'm just going to do a new file called, I'll just do payments for now. This will probably change. I'm going to wrap this in a one of those instantaneous functions. Let's see how I'm doing it elsewhere. Yeah, just like that. And for now, we'll do I called it CC number as the ID. And this will probably fail. But first I need to import that into my app. Payments. All right, build succeeded, but I'm probably going to see some JavaScript errors because there's not a payment library. So now comes the fun process of trying to import this payment. How do you do jQuery imports from Node modules? I have no idea. Let's see. If we check our package JSON, we have jQuery.payment. We are automatically pulling in Bulma through maybe the mix file. This doesn't seem like a very pretty way to do that. No, we're not. How does it know how to load? No, Mix doesn't have any JavaScript. That's why. Let's see. Gosh, maybe I just need to do import jQuery payment. jQuery.payment. So maybe it'll try to resolve to the node modules. All right, that succeeded. Huh, that worked. So, cool. All right, we have a credit card number format working. So next, I promised some Vue work, and I haven't even touched that yet. But now we can kind of maybe convert this to like a Vue form. So how would we do that? We'd probably start by creating a new Vue component. I'm going to pop that in a new folder called JS Components, and we can call this adoption fee form. Yeah, adoption fee form.vue. And I can do View component kind of autocomplete there. And I'm just going to copy all this junk in here. And paste it. And it's a single element, so that's fine. We don't need to do anything in here yet or there, so I'm just going to hit save on that. And then instead of importing payments.js, maybe I'll do import. There's no Vue framework in here yet. Import what is this called? Import adoption fee form from components adoption fee form. And so that's going to be a Vue component. And then so, man, Bootstrap Vue stuff. I think you can do var app equals new Vue. We can say app. Now let's just hop in our header file really quick and drop in ID page. I'll just do page since we know it's going to be everywhere. The options and then components you can register as an array, I believe, and so we'll do adoption fee form. Oh, is that going to work? I'm just going to hit save and see. Build succeeded. I'm going to hop into my console. Vue is not defined, so I'll probably need to import Vue from Vue, maybe. There's no such thing because I haven't added it yet. Let's try just adding. I'm going to check out what Laravel Mix says to do for Vue, because I feel like this is built kind of out of the box for Vue components. Nothing in here about Vue. Basic example. I feel like maybe I'll try the yarn step first. Yarn add Vue. It's going to save it as a dependency by default. Okay. Now let's just hit refresh on this. And actually hit save on the JavaScript file to see if it builds. It builded. It worked this time. Okay, Vue's running. Now let's see if we can't just render that Vue component instead of the form. So I'm going to do adoption fee form and hit refresh. All right, it did not work. Not sure why. I'm probably missing a lot of things. So I'm going to see if I can't get this working and then maybe call it a night because this takes a long time. But thank you all for joining me for this starter adventure. I promise there'll be more follow-up later. Maybe I will inspect an existing project I have. Let's see here. What do I have? What if I comment this out? Do I get an error? No. Is it showing up? It's right here. Adoption fee form is lowercase though. Why is it showing up lowercase? It's odd. Maybe I'll try adding a hyphen. This is probably the worst way to debug this, but you can do adoption form, define And also maybe it needs to be an object and not an array. Nope. How does that look though? Still starts lowercase. That's just Chrome doing it. Otherwise it's uppercase in the source code. I'll hop into a different project quick. App.js just registers the component ahead of time, but I've also seen it done differently before. Let me think. Let me check one more project. Oh. The only difference I see is it's .vue in that case. And it's also passing element explicitly. So let's maybe make some changes to adjust to this sort of behavior. So I'm going to just paste this below for reference, but const app equals view, and then I'll just do the element is page, components is that, and then instead of just that, I'm just going to do .view and then comment this out. See if that builds. It did. Refresh. All right, I have a different error now, which is cool. Okay, precompiled templates. So it's not compiling my templates. That makes sense because I just installed the normal view. Let's see what I'm missing from, for example, this. I have view, no, and then the .mix file in here. It's not doing anything differently. Well, I think this is probably a build tool thing, and it's not really fun to watch someone debug that, so I'm going to shut this off for now, but thanks for checking in, and I'll chat with you later.